G'day gang, GameolioDan here, how you going? Back in Lord of the Rings Online, we're back at Rivendell, we're gonna go back to hand in the quest. And then after that we're gonna ride, we'll just go back. We'll go to the stable master and figure out a quick way of getting back. I'm sure they'll be able to help us. Quest was over here. Bring the Relic Fragments to Glorenglir in Rivendell.
How can I be of service?
You actually found Relic Fragments on the Snow Lurkers? I can hardly believe it, GameolioDan. I suspected that such fragments would become entangled in the legs of the Snow Lurkers, but I had never observed that behavior myself. My musings have been proven true by your efforts. I am pleased as well that you collected these old fragments, but there is no shortage of those in Imladris. And I am more excited than my musings were correct. Thank you, GameolioDan. You're welcome.
Mind my words, traveler.
Once Master Delurus hears I was correct in my belief that pieces of pottery and other relics could become entangled in the root-like legs of the snow lurkers of the Misty Mountains, he is certain to give me more interesting assignments. Bring these relic fragments to him, GameolioDan, and tell him from whence you received them, retrieved them. Perhaps he will send you back to me with an invitation to examine the most precious artifacts kept in Imladris. I cannot wait to study them with my own eyes. You will find Master Delurus within the library of Lord Elrond's house. He is always to be found there, deep in thought. Okay. Well, I was like in the Misty Mountains and I came back and I thought it was just a single quest to hand in, but it looks like this is a whole different thing. You also have a quest to go to the Misty Mountains. There is much to do in the Misty Mountains to the north. The giants have begun to wander and there are goblins throughout the fields. I fear our northern border is no longer safe, GameolioDan. An old friend of the elves, Gloin, has a camp at the north of here, in the southwestern area of the Misty Mountains. Find Gloin in the Misty Mountains and see what you can do to aid him. Already found him and already aiding him, and that's cool. I'll grab that. That's a little bit more experience when they hand that in, right? So we're going to go back to Elrond's house, his library, more specifically. Now, I did find in the Misty Mountains, around here is the entrance to this road of Erebor. I think it's Ayabar's peak scaling entrance to the instance. So once we get there, I'll be hopping inside there and trying that out. Also, I've totally forgot about that whole 64-bit client thing. I'm not sure if that's happened or not. But I'll have to check up on that. I'd imagine that's something you got to use or set up from the launcher, if it is actually here. I don't think it would be set up here. Yeah, alright, I'll check that out. If not, I'll have a Google and see where they're up to with that. Because I just remember walking in, it was either a stream or a video I saw and they were just talking about it. And I was like, okay, cool. It sounds good. No legs broken, no. And that's actually the wrong place. So the guy's up here. Deluros.
What do you need?
You retrieve these relic fragments from snow lurkers in the Misty Mountains? That is very interesting, GameolioDan. And Glorenglir is to be commended for thinking it possible. In one blow, the mountain passes are made safer for those who must travel them, and we collect pieces of our history for further study. Worthy accomplishments. And yet, I would ask you one question. Did Glorenglir examine these fragments before she sent you to me? I thought not. This has always been her main fault, and it is the reason I refuse to allow her access to the most interesting artifacts kept here. Glorenglir is more concerned with boasting of her finds, with celebrating her accomplishments, than with examining the pieces she has uncovered. Until she learns to contemplate and appreciate the history of the pieces, she will never become a true scholar.
Stay a moment.
Glorenglir has not understood the significance of these fragments, GameolioDan, but I do. These are shards from what must once have been a beautiful vase, crafted long ago by some lord of the Eldar. If you can retrieve more fragments of this vase, it might be possible to reassemble it. Its former glory might have been lost to carelessness or necessity, but history leaves us with one certainty. Though broken, something once fair can be made beautiful again, through care and goodwill. Return to the source of the Brunnen and search the drifts there for more fragments. The remaining pieces are sure to be most jagged. Whether you dig them out of the drifts yourself or rely on Gloringlir's snow lurkers, I leave it to you. Be warned, however, that the chance of finding the remaining fragments will likely be quite low. Oh, don't you worry about that, Delurus. Junior Burger? I know. I'll find it. I'll find it. No need to be worried. I wonder if it's quicker if we just use this and actually walk out there. It probably is. Not by much, though. A nice little picture of the old Legolas. Alright, so they want us to collect fragments. Let's just go up there and see if that shows up. Certainly does, right near Gloin. Gloin or glowing? Glowing or glowing? Straight up glowing. I think it's glowing. Glowing. I think, but I do not know. For I am who I am. A person who could possibly not know. Knows some things, but not everything. A lot of my knowledge of Lord of the Rings comes from the movies and not so much the books. Yep, still haven't read them. I need time. I need the time to sit down and read them. For which I have very little at the moment. Alright, Stable Master Man, would you be so good as to take me to Gloin up there in the Misty Mountains? That's the one, thank you very much. That ain't a horse. We got a goat. Got a ram. Thank you very much. Yep, that'll do it. You can boot me off right here. Hang on a second. This dude's got nothing but horses. Where the hell did that come from? Megavonen, Maethanor. You survived the claws of the snow beast and return with a tale of GameolioDan. I am glad to hear it and to tell you that you have performed a great service for those forced to travel into the mountains.
Will you lend me your ear?
Yes. The snow beasts are a threat near the source of the Brunnen, but they have not spread throughout the mountains as much as the other creatures. It is easier to guide travelers past them in a way that is impossible with the more widespread threats. This is not true of the bears that prowl the slopes, not only near the source of the Brunnen, but also further east among the high crags beneath Pinath Fenui, and as far south as the giant holes around Yorba. If you can defeat many of the bears in these areas, the slopes will be made safer for travelers. Watch yourself as you hunt the bears of these regions, for they may surprise you with their numbers and their savagery.
No dawdling.
There is much to do here, friend. I am glad you are here to aid our cause.
No dawdling.
What? Dowan dwarves with the goblins? Oh, yes, it's all coming together now. While you were away, one of my scouts reported something interesting. You see, the task given to me by King Dane was to track down the Dowahan's last refuge. The scout seemed to have found it, as there were a large number of Dowahans around an old dwarf fortress called Gabilazan, but that wasn't all that he found. As the scout watched from a high ridge, two figures rode up to the fortress. One was a dwarf, the other a cloaked figure. At first he didn't know what he was seeing, but when all the Dowhounds stopped what they were doing and cheered, he knew that dwarf could only be one person, Skogrim. Now, with what you've told me, the other figure within must have been the ring wraith. It would seem our two tasks are but one, friend. Plus 40 agility. 43. It's got 40 agility. I'll take that. Doom of Gurzmat.
I would be grateful for your assistance.
If we can but enter this fortress, we will end two problems with one fell stroke. By ending the threat of the rider, we can ensure Rivendell's safety, and by putting an end to Skogrim, we will crush the Dowhounds. However, it won't be easy, as a scout reported that the two entered the inner keep of the fortress. That keep is nearly impregnable. This is what you must do, GameolioDan. Every dwarf fortress has a secret entrance, and although I do not know the secret of Gabilazan, I know how to learn it. When the cornerstone of Gabilazan was laid down, a copy of the fortress plan would have been stored within. Around that cornerstone, the fortress was built, and can now only be accessed by entering Gabilazan's vault. Once we have the plans, we will be able to learn the fortress' secret entrance. Gabilazan can be found in the more westerly of the two passes, at gate entrance to Yorba. The easternmost pass, Rakas Bizarre, is not guarded by dwarves, and may give you a roundabout means to approach the keep. Sounds like we're getting very close to that area that we need to be in. We got plenty of work to do out here. It's over here, right? We go right past that stable master. Okay, for now, let's see what we've got out here. The missing fragments. It's the ones we want. They have the missing fragments that we need. A little bit closer. Cut it. No fragments. There's enough of them down here, though. Okay, that's one. We'll just keep working our way to the east. What hurlers here? Snowy lynx. There's another lurker there. Sneaky lynx? I mean lynx, look. Very tall lynx. 3 or 4. One more around here. We do need to... No, we don't have to go south yet. Still need to be traveling east. Although there is another lurker over there. Kind of strange how this... The way I'm looking at the map, I would just expect a row of hills and mountains here. So it's not quite like other games where you'd have a map and it'd be absolutely precise. It's more like somebody drew a map out. He ain't going to draw every little nook and cranny, is he? Just give you a nice general map. Generally speaking, if you head this way, you'll be okay. Alright, that quest is done. And that's a quest to once again return to Rivendell. Yep, okay. So we'll do that when we have a moment. Bear hides. There's a few reasons to defeat these bears. Good, good. A lot of bears around here. I'm gonna kite you around the tree. Sorry, bear, too slow. Okay, we're coming up to the stable master. So 12. There's plenty more down to the south as well. Vighar.
What do you need? What do you want?
I am glad you were so successful from your hunt, GameolioDan. Wargs are dangerous prey, and you have slain many.
Will you help me?
Would you say that you are skilled with hammer and nail, friend? It doesn't really matter, but it would be a help if you were. Some of my kin have been looking to get the trade passing through the mountains again, and I'm doing my part to help. The trouble is that the mountains are dangerous, even in summer, and during winter only a fool would expect to come through without incident. And then there are threats in the mountains beyond the cold and the snows. goblins and worse. There's an old keep far to the north, and evil men have overtaken it for their own purposes. It's a ways north to the road, but I don't want any dwarves to get turned about in a storm and happen upon it unawares. I'd appreciate if you could post this warning sign I've made in front of the slope leading up to the keep. There's already a suitable post at the base of the slope. Just affix the sign to it and hurry back. Head north along the road, and then northwest to travel into the northern source. It's quite a way, so be prepared for a good hike.